Chapter 6. Split. I had a long drive ahead of me. My goal was to reach Cheyenne on the other side of the state. I got gas in my car at the same rest stop from which I left to journey to Yellowstone a few days prior. I decided to fuel myself as I fueled up my car. I blasted down a series of huge hot rails. I blasted off from the rest stop fully fueled and fully fueled. I hit the nighttime highway with determination. The travel lanes, except for the expected big rigs, were all but empty. I turned up the music and set up my phone to record the trip. I thought back to the speeds I hit on the drive west across Nebraska. I decided that the previous Nebraska drive had been practice for this drive east across Wyoming. With the music hitting and the drugs hitting, I hit the gas. Again, I peaked at 140 miles per hour. I kept that speed up for long lengths of time on my drive to Cheyenne. I ripped past semis as they meandered along at about 80. I weaved through multiple vehicles on the rare instances I came up on any traffic at all. Like those days skirting the outsides of Detroit on the interstates, I lifted off the earth. I was in space. My mind raced. My reactions were on point. I was ever diligent, anticipating my roadway maneuvers before I put them into action. The red color of rear lights on cars shot towards me like I was in a video game. I changed lanes to accommodate. I had fractions of seconds to react and find clear ways forward. Headlights disappeared behind me into the black of night as fast as I could glance at my mirrors. Time passed. I was too focused to measure how long. Miles passed. I kept a staggering pace. I knew it was the fastest I had ever covered the distance I covered that night. The speed kept my mind in an adrenaline-saturated state. I began seeing road signs for Cheyenne. I made it. As traffic picked up, approaching the city in the middle of the night, I governed my speed as I stayed on the cusp of the triple-digit mark. When I reached the city proper, I came back to earth and obeyed the speed limit. That drive through the desolate expanse of Wyoming in the darkness of night was a metaphor for a portal, one which returned me from an otherworldly and magical land where nature was the focus. I was back to the daily life of cities and people and activity, and stresses and worries and concerns, and limits to the visions of what was out there beyond a manufactured world of clutter where focus only extended to that which was immediately and currently visible. I stuck around the city for a day. I went back to the park in Cheyenne the next morning to get some sunlight and work more on my car audio. I again ate at a Mexican restaurant. I drove around more and explored the city. The point came when I knew it was time to go. I knew I could lazily work my way down to New Mexico to pick up my tattoo gun when it arrived at the Whole Foods locker, but I had done my time in Wyoming. I came upon Fort Collins, Colorado in the middle of the night. As always, I was busy sending and replying to messages on all of my social media platforms and apps. I had been in contact with the guy who lived in the city. The guy was looking to party. He invited me over. Though I took steps to remove myself from the drug trade, I still use crystal all day, every day. The guy in Fort Collins mentioned he had his own crystal. That was fine with me. I still had an ounce from the last time I acquired crystal in the Midwest, and I planned to leave it in my car when I reached the guy's house, unless the quality of the guy's drugs was disgraceful and I needed to go back out and retrieve my own to make the party happen. By summer of 2020, I had been on the website for 2.5 years. I was on all the popular dating apps for almost as long. Popularity online in an adult hookup world became strategic. As I traveled, I matched with people in close proximity via geolocation on the internet and apps. As I traveled through cities, I would begin interacting with many of my matches. I had many conversations going on at once with those close to where I traveled. My conversations revealed which matches wanted me to stop to see them as I was passing through the area. Messages were received letting me know availability and locations. Often, when matches weren't available at the moment, whether they were at work or somehow otherwise occupied, they let me know when they were next available and wished to see me. My travel throughout the country had me crisscrossing locations many times over. Along the way, new matches popped up anytime I was back through any area where I had already been. The new conversations with the new matches began as I was still connected to previous matches in the area. Sometimes I adjusted my travel to line up with certain matches and their availability. As I drove, I sent messages to my connections, whichever upcoming city I was approaching. Some people were available. I stopped to see them and hang out. Others weren't free at the time, so we made plans to try again on my next pass. My interactions weren't based only on intimate experiences. Though some of my matches were only seeking no strings attached hookups, I was happy to just see people and go with the flow, whatever ways our time together was spent. The length of time spent was as varied as our activities together. It was always exciting to create those dynamics with people all around the country. Some instances ended up being one-time things. With other people, sustained dynamics always gave me something I could look forward to when I was passing through a certain location in the country. Meaningful friendships and long-term intimate dynamics popped up and lasted as I traveled. Unique situations created interesting memories in the times when those one-time meetings didn't blossom into the future. Very rarely, meetups went far off the rails. Usually, the worst-case scenario ended with my knowledge that the connection hadn't lined up and I wouldn't be making a point to see that person again. I had more and more connected people and places as I kept up on my travels. No matter where I was, in almost any location in any state in the country, I knew I had places I could go and people I could see. I felt alive as I traveled. I felt alive creating and sustaining dynamics with people everywhere. I felt secure knowing I had places close by where I could visit no matter where I was in the country. I had friends with whom I could go out to dinner or just go get ice cream. I'd stop to meet people to hike in a park. I'd stop for sleepovers. I knew who wished to party and I could stop and get high with someone and talk for an afternoon before I continued on down the road. When I was tired, I'd be invited to come take naps with people and rest. People would show me around their cities, the best locations for stunning nature photography and videos. Others wished to create videos and memories of an adult nature. By summer of 2020, due to all the interactions and connections I had cultivated, I felt comfortable and familiar almost everywhere in the United States. I collected so many wonderful and meaningful memories, shared with people who became important to me on so many levels, in so many different ways. I was appreciative of the love and concern I felt from everywhere. My dream had come true. I felt alive, but I hadn't fixed myself. I was happy, but I wasn't. I knew I had created a life of note. I knew I was living each day, not just going through the motions. My time felt full and immediate, and I lived in most moments. I was doing what I wanted, and I felt free, but something was still off.